guys, it's me, Gretchen from Gretchen's Vegan Bakery, and today I have a really simple but delicious recipe for you for peach blueberry cobbler. Peaches are in abundance right now. We are mid-July here in Pennsylvania, and the peaches are really delicious, and I couldn't resist but to show you guys how to make my vegan version of a peach cobbler. And it's really simple to make. So first of all, I have two separate recipes really. One is for the fruit filling, and then the other is for the cobbler topping that goes on top. Now, as I get into this, you may start wondering, like, wow, that doesn't look like a peach cobbler that I'm used to, because most peach cobbler recipes that you and I have probably happened upon, they're more like a batter, almost like a pancake batter, where you pour that over the fruit in the pan and then bake it, and then that batter kind of comes up to the top. I do it differently. This is my favorite recipe for any kind of cobbler, whether it's peach or apple or like any fruit that you want to use. The cobbler topping recipe that I use is more like biscuits. I don't know, do you know what biscuits are, right? I mean, they're more like bready rather than cakey. Mine is a little bit different, so stick with me. Decide whether you like it this way or you like the other way better, but this definitely is my favorite way of doing it. Seriously?
Sorry to bother you.
Oh, that's okay.
Is tomorrow going to be all right?
Yeah, tomorrow's totally fine.
Okay.
Okay, sure. I told him that already. Oh my God. I was like, any day but today is totally fine. So now for the fruit filling, and I have already prepared my peaches that you see here in the bowl. And that is actually the most lengthy part of this whole recipe, is actually peeling the peaches, because you don't want that fibrous, like fuzzy skin on there. And I'm going to actually clip in right here how I prepare those peaches. And this is footage from way back in the old Woodland Bakery blog days when I made a peach pie, I think it was. So you're going to see like the old studio kitchen from there. And this is just to show you guys how I prepared the peaches. It's basically just going to be plunging the peaches into some boiling water after you've marked an X on each part of the skin. And then after it boils for about 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to plunge them into ice water, and that sort of loosens the skins, and then they peel off really easily. But I went ahead and did that so that I didn't have to show you guys how to do that again, but you kind of get the idea from that little clip that I just clipped in. So in addition to my peaches, I am putting some blueberries in there. That's completely optional. You can leave that out. And my blueberries were in the freezer, but they thaw out so quickly that I'm not too worried about it. I also have a tiny bit of sugar, some cornstarch. I have some nutmeg, cinnamon, and a pinch of ground ginger. I am also going to be putting the zest of a lemon into the filling. Lemon and lemon zest really does heighten any fruit that you're working with, so it's always a nice idea to put that in. I also have the juice of half of an orange. Okay, so I'm using my cast iron skillet to bake this in. It has been lightly oiled, and you're just going to go ahead and pour your fruit into the bottom of that.
Looks like you can eat it just like that.
Yeah, this is a really rustic kind of campfire way to serve this dessert. You could serve it right out of the oven, right out of this skillet. That oven really just wants to let us know it's ready. So I don't even think I mentioned what the ingredients were, because I got so spun off onto talking about pancake cobblers versus biscuit cobblers. So the ingredients are flour, a little bit of sugar, I have some baking powder, a little bit of salt, and I'm using soy milk as my milk for this. I do have a little bit of vegan butter here that I'm going to cut in to these dry ingredients. Kind of toss it around just to kind of distribute it evenly. Now, normally I have a bigger box cheese grater, but I can't find it on my recent move. It's just a really nice way to get the butter into the flour, and it keeps it sort of like, is it coming out of here even? Yeah, see how it kind of just like shreds it up a little bit? Or you can just really cut it really small into like tiny little chunks with a knife. Yeah, it's not even coming out of here.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, not the greatest choice here. This is more of a little decorative grater than an actual functional one. It's such a small amount of butter, too, that you really can just break it up. And that's the whole idea. You can use a pastry cutter. You could actually use a fork. You're just really trying to distribute that butter throughout the flour without melting it or making it greasy. So if you use a box grater or just dice it up into little pieces, you're going to get the same effect. Oh, I'm hot. I tell you.
Should I back up?
I think I'm having hot flashes, you guys. Like, please.
Or is it because I'm getting too close to you?
Or the oven's on. Combination of everything.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah,
for
keep
next
your
time.
distance.
Keep my distance.
You sexy
I
thing, you.
I have that effect on people.
Oh, God. This is the dry mixture, so now we are just going to pour our soy milk into the dry mixture. And then, similar to making scones, I really don't want to work this dough too much. I'm just sort of fluffing it, if you will. This was the original biscuit hands, if you guys remember me from back in the day. Okay, so basically what you see here is I have like this really soft, sticky dough that I'm not trying to knead it. I'm not trying to make bread. We do want to keep this really flaky and light, so you really don't want to work it too much. And that is sort of why I go in with like this forklift kind of a motion and just flip it over and wait till the flour absorbs a lot of that liquid. So basically what you're going to do, this is like I was saying, it's almost like dumpling style, where I just lay this cobbler topping over the fruit.
Will that expand over the whole top, or is it okay to just...
Yeah, it will puff slightly because there is baking powder in this cobbler topping recipe, and it will expand. But I do like it when some of the fruit is showing through. It's a really nice presentation that way. The fruit filling will start to bubble up over the topping. Now just a sprinkling of cinnamon sugar over the top. And we're going to get this into a preheated 375 degree Fahrenheit oven. I'm not really sure how long it's going to take because I haven't made one of these in a cast iron pan in a really long time, but of course on my blog at gretchensveganbakery.com, everything is listed out for you, the ingredients, the instructions, like everything. So let's come back when it's done and we're going to eat this. All right, so here is our cobbler just out of the oven. You can see how the fruit was bubbling all up around the edges. And the main part when checking to make sure that your cobbler is done, you just want to pick up a little piece of the cobbler topping to make sure that it's not raw dough on the inside. And you can see that that is not. It is perfectly baked and it is ready to serve. Okay guys, so I'm getting the idea that Jason is not as much of a chocolate lover as I am because he was so excited about this peach
This is the one
cobbler.
I want to try.
Yeah,
I've
he was like,
been eyeing this down.
yeah, I know. So let's see what he thinks about it. But wait, before you do, I have this new, they finally did it. Like if you guys are like me and you've been waiting for an awesome, like a ready whip, but it's coconut whipped cream in a can, they finally did it. So do you want whipped cream on yours? Oh, it's so good. I've already tried it.
Coconut whipped cream.
Coconut whipped cream. And it tastes just like Ready Whip. Oh my God. These guys really did it right. So I'll link below to all the stuff. Oh my God, I can't believe you're not making your own coconut whipped cream. Right? Come on. I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right, let's try it.
Let's taste it.
That's good.
Yeah. It's refreshing.
I was just going to say that it's so refreshing. The peaches with a slight hint of nutmeg in there. What do you think about the cobbler topping, though? Like, I mean, I don't know that you have anything to compare it to because you probably didn't really know what I was talking about when I was explaining the difference between like a pancake-style topping or my biscuity style topping.
I like it because the rest of the cake is soft, so it kind of gives it a little bit of
Well, I think
texture.
The biscuit definitely has more texture than your traditional pouring in the batter style one. That's going to be more like a yellow cake almost. So that's why I really do love this. If you guys have never made a biscuit style cobbler topping before, you're definitely going to love this recipe. And I think Jason really loves it too. He's eaten half of his portion already.
I'm not going to have dinner tonight.
This is your dinner. From now on, we eat cake for dinner.
Right.
All right, you guys, thanks for watching. If you want to grab the recipe, as always, the links are below the video, GretchensVeganBakery.com, and we will see you again soon.